Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Grace Gama for those who don't know. So if it's your first time coming to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and for those that have already subscribed, welcome back and thank you for always watching my videos. So if you saw the title of this video, it's going to be about 10 things that I use the Apple Watch Series 6 for as a doctor. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. The number one thing that I actually love about my Apple Watch is being able to make and receive calls on my Apple Watch, especially when I'm at work, when I'm seeing patients. I always use it to make calls. You have recent calls, contacts of people, favorites and whatever. So that's what I use. I'm a doctor, you are always on call. Sometimes you are with a patient and you are not able to answer your phone, so I just answer on my Apple Watch. And also the other thing is replying to messages. So sometimes I'm also too busy to text somebody when I'm at work, so I just go into my messages. So when I'm responding to a message, I just press on the microphone button, I reply to the message by just giving a voice note, and then I send it. So this is quite useful, especially when I'm a bit busy. I use that as well. So the other thing that is useful is the fact that the watch is water resistant. So sometimes I am probably on call and I probably want to quickly hop into the shower, maybe before during my call, maybe the call has been hectic and I just quickly want to refresh by hopping into the shower. I would hop into the shower with my watch just so that I don't miss a call from the hospital and I'm still accessible. So I would shower with my watch just to be able to answer my calls. Sometimes I misplace my phone, right? So sometimes I'll be in a hurry, my job is quite stressful, I have so much to think about. So what I'll do is I'll just press on this application with the phone pinging. So you just press on it, your phone will make a pinging sound for you to be able to detect where it is. So the fourth thing that I use my Apple Watch for is I use it to be able to track, to count how many seconds I'm washing my hands, which is quite a useful thing because I always have to deal with patients. So when I move from one patient to the next patient, I have to wash my hands. So my watch will tell me whether I wash my hands for 20 seconds. So 20 seconds is sufficient to get most of the germs and bacteria off your hands. So you have to wash your hands for 20 seconds. Another useful feature about the washing hands app is that once you get to your house, because sometimes you are busy out there and when you get home you probably want to eat something or whatever, it will remind you when you get home, immediately when you enter the door, that you need to wash your hands. So the moment you enter your house, you'll get a reminder that you need to wash your hands, and then when you wash your hands for 20 seconds, then it will say well done. So we are moving on to number 5. So number 5 is the blood oxygen meter. It could be useful if you could measure your blood oxygen level, especially during this time of COVID, since we are healthcare workers and we are in the front lines and we are more easily accessible to getting COVID. Okay, it says blood oxygen app is not available in your region. So yeah. Number 6 of the useful things on my Apple Watch is my calculator. I usually use to calculate the dosages for especially pediatric patients. You need to be exact with the dosages that you are using on them. So I use the calculator to calculate dosages, or to calculate probably something else like the BMI of the patient and so forth. Number 7 of the most useful things on my watch is my activity rings. So as a doctor or any other person, it's always good to keep in shape, to keep in good health, because you will not be able to do your job if you yourself are not healthy and you are not in a healthy condition. You will not be able to execute your job well. So this is my activity for the day. So far I have a stand goal of 10 hours. I only did 8 minutes of exercise because I didn't work out today, and I burned 212 kilocalories from moving. And then if you scroll down here, it says I walked 4,472 steps, which is 3 kilometers, and I didn't take any flights. So if you've climbed any stairs, it will tell you how many stairs you've climbed, like number of flights climbed, like 1 or 2. And then here is my weekly summary. I took 42,000 steps. So down here you can change the goals. You can increase the kilocalories that you'd want, but I will stick to 300. And then you can also change the exercise to 20 or 30. And then also with the stand goals, which is a maximum of only 12 hours. So yeah. So number 8 of the useful things on my watch is my timer. Believe it or not, it's something that I really appreciate on the Apple Watch. I could just stand next to the patient and be able to count how many contractions she's having in 10 minutes. I just go to my timer and put on the 10 minutes, and then I'll be able to count how many contractions she's having in 10 minutes and how many seconds the contractions are lasting, to be able to see whether they are moderate, strong, or mild contractions. So that is how I use my timer. I also use it to calculate the respiratory rate of a patient. Maybe you have a patient that comes in with pneumonia or, God forbid, COVID. You'll be able to count their respiratory rate to see whether they are in some form of respiratory distress. So you count the number of breaths they are taking in 1 minute to be able to count the respiratory rate. Same with the pulse rate or the heart rate. You usually count it over 1 minute. So you stand next to the patient, you check on the radial pulse and count how many beats there were in a minute to be able to calculate the heart rate of a patient. So number 9 of the most useful things on my Apple Watch is the sleep tracking app. You all know that doctors don't get enough sleep. That is not a myth. That is a fact. Especially if you are working in busy departments like obstetrics and gynecology, where I am working, it can be quite hectic and you don't really get enough rest or sleep. So it's quite important for me to always get enough sleep. For me, I've adjusted my watch for me to sleep for at least 5.5 hours. That's not even enough sleep. The recommended time of sleep is 8 hours, but I don't think I'll be able to get 8 hours sleep because I feel like I don't have enough time during the day, like to be able to get 8 hours of sleep. Because sometimes also with our sleeping patterns, it could be quite disrupted, especially because we have to do calls during the week. So sometimes you don't even get to sleep the whole night and stuff like that. So sleep is quite important for me because it's really good for your health to get enough sleep. When you get enough sleep, it also improves on your health, and there's also evidence that it can lower your blood pressure. So some of us, like me, have a family history of hypertension, so I will try by all means to avoid getting hypertension in the future. So if I could reduce my blood pressure, if I could reduce my blood pressure by getting enough sleep, I would do that, because sleep is always invited. Like, sleep is my best friend. As a doctor, like, you can never get enough sleep. So speaking of having a busy schedule, number 10 of the useful things that I do on my Apple Watch is the breathing app or mindfulness app. So what I use this for is especially when I feel like I'm overwhelmed. So because sometimes when you're a doctor, you can get so busy and so overwhelmed, and you just get so distracted and busy with your life that you're not aware of your surroundings. You're not mindful of where you are. So sometimes I just take a step back and just take a few minutes, and then I put on my breathing app and I just breathe in and out, in and out, just for me to also relax. It's just a form of getting me to like wind down and relax from all the stress that one can incur at work and making all these life-changing decisions on patients, which could be quite stressful. So it's just sometimes useful to just take that step back and just take in a deep breath. It's really very relaxing, and I would recommend anybody to try it out, especially if you have a busy schedule or you work in a place where can be quite hectic. It's quite helpful to just take that moment off, to be mindful of your environment and to just relax. So yeah, that was 10 useful things that I use on my Apple Watch, but I have another one that I didn't include, which is number 11. Yes, I know I said 10, but I have an 11th one that is actually quite useful, which is an app that I downloaded on my app store, which is called Motivation. What I love about the motivational app is that it keeps me motivated, because sometimes you just wake up and you're just exhausted and you just don't want to do anything, and just when you read one of those motivational quotes, it just gives you that strength, that energy to keep on pushing, to keep on going further, and to keep on motivating yourself to be better, a better version of yourself. See, I've even included it actually on my this is not focusing. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, so peaceful mind, grateful heart. So that is another motivational quote. As you can see, it's on my Apple Watch face. That's how much I love this app, and I love having it on my watch face so that I can be able to see the different motivations as I go throughout my day. Yes, so that is a wrap on the 10 most useful things I found on the Apple Watch Series 6 as a doctor that I use on almost a daily basis. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.